What's up, everybody? Another day, another time to learn from some excellent design we found on the internet. So today we're going to be learning from Amelia Wattenberger's awesome email animation thing that we're looking at here. Let's dive right in. So first things first, let's just get a vibe check. Oh man, yeah. All right, so she asks on X, is it possible to make email a peaceful place? And she's uploaded this wonderful little animation example of what an email client could be. I'm assuming it is. It looks like that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and answer this immediately. Yes, Amelia. Yeah, you nailed it. This is pretty peaceful. Um, but is it good? So let's go in. All right, so first things first, we have to slow this down so we can actually watch it a little bit. And as usual, I'm zoomed in to get this to work. So it's a little bit crappy, but there we go. Okay, first, let's pause and just look at the overview. So this would be your like basic screen on a email app. Well, let's see, up to the left, we have what are these? These are like your latest emails, of course. So that's your inbox, probably like your priority inbox, because right next to it is updates, which looks like it looks like it's updates from services, which is pretty cool. So she's divided those up, which is really nice. She also has to-dos down here and then promotions in the middle as well. Don't know how promotions and updates would be separated, but I really like it if that were possible. That was amazing. Also, social and forums are separate things as well. So this idea basically of compartmentalizing out different categories of communication so you know what you're supposed to be looking at, I really like. Also really like the column color here. Like the visual hierarchy is super clear. Like this is the time this is the time. Below that are your important emails, and under that are your to-dos. And then it's the rest of the screen. There's a ton of white space. We have this little bento box grid happening, which is super modern. I guess like everyone is using it. It's starting to get a little bit overused probably, but honestly, I love it because it's such a core thing of like layouting that just group things together and grouping them visually in this sort of way. It's just, yeah, it's probably going to feel really stale and old in a couple of years, but for now, I still really love it because it just really guides the eye quite well. Besides the fact that, no, actually, no, let's not go into the bad things yet. Let's stick to the good. Let's jump in. So here we go. We've opened an email, and what we're looking at is a serif, calm, sort of rounded serif font that lets you read really easily. It takes up a lot of space. It darkens the background, so you're not looking at that. You have very clear actions here. Sorry, the gradient of the players getting on top of that. But anyway, you have down here, you can see the archive and remove to do. So this isn't an email, this is a to do. It's interesting. You can reply to it though. So this probably is an email that has to do's related to it. And it's from Poseidon Neptune to Amelia Wattenberger. Poseidon and Neptune is the same person, just from different mythologies. But hey, still really love the typography here. It's just so calm. There's so much white space, and like the choice of fonts here is really nice because it's just like when you have the sans serif is used for things that you can click and things that are actionable, and then the serif is used for things that you read. So you're just very easily like just guided into what you're supposed to be looking at. Okay, so let's move a little bit further. Here we go. Next email. Not a lot of more information. It's like, okay, so it's a shorter email. It just gives it more white space. Love that. There's no reason to fill up the entire screen with information. I'm moving along. Oh, here we have a much longer email, and this I think is where the design really shines, because even though this is a huge email, it doesn't take up the entire screen. It just gives you a really nice column that you can read, while but it doesn't feel like it's being forced. So it's sort of it makes sense that it comes in from the side, like it's a sheet of paper almost on top of your inbox. It makes sense that all of the meta information and all of the actions are on the left-hand side because most of that is going to be super important. And then you can just read. The rest of the screen is just for reading, and I love that. It's really nice. Let's move along. All right, so now she actually went back an email here, which is interesting because going back an email animated in from the left. So we have this nice timeline progression that we're always moving right, 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 and then we can go back to go left, left, left. That's really nice. Went back again. That's actually super weird because now she just violated the thing that I thought she had been creating. So the going from the long email to the short email went back in time. Great. But then going back again also went back in time. Okay, so that maybe wasn't as good as I gave her credit for. Let's go on and see what happens. Closing makes a lot of sense. Jumping into updates, no, just highlighting things. That's very interesting. Let's go back, look at that. The highlight over the text here, look at that. It's only highlighting the subject line, not the sender. It's very interesting. I wonder if you could click the whole thing. Now, I'm sure this is just a demo, right? But it's still very interesting to figure out how she's been thinking about this. Oh my God, did you see that animation? So clicking this promotional email, which is a little bit more graphically intense, popped up first. We have the slide out and some opacity on the information. Interesting that you would start showing the information that is the meta information. That is, I think, a really good visual hierarchy. It makes a lot of sense to pop that first. Then we pop up the actual content. And the content, this is probably supposed to be like a general email, so it comes in all at once. But then, look at this. Oh my God. The images animate in. And then there's like some added extra flair at the top here. Oh my God, yes, look at that. So that's a GIF in the email. So you would never have that in real life, but it still looks really nice. Also, look at the red text, use code MWN. So that came in. It came in from the start, yeah. I was just fooled by the opacity. I thought it was going to be monochrome while it was animating and then come in as colored, but it didn't. Let's look at it, half speed again. That's nice. One more time. Yeah, I mean that's a really nice animation. That's a really, really nice animation. Again, you probably couldn't actually do this because you can't time a GIF in an application like this, but fine. It looks nice. It's a good presentation. Okay, so again, jumping back in time, it looks like opens it up like this. So strange. Also, in this email, there are more actions. Here we can read it in an app, and we have a bunch of actions up top here, which we didn't have in the previous ones. Why? No clue. Doesn't really seem to be any information about that either. It is not something that I can see, which is probably not a good thing since I'm zoomed in on a video, pausing. Really nice animation, really calm, nice email, even with that. Yeah, Soviet pomegranates. Oh my God, dude, there's no food in Soviet Russia. They were all starving to death. Colossal Chronography, brilliant title, and a lovely, lovely little visualization down here. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be more of the same. Yep. And back again. Okay, cool. There was something else here at the start. I think there was something we were looking at. Yeah, it was the animation. Does it animate in and out? So let's see. The first email came from the right. Next came from the right. Next came from the right. Go back from the left. Ooh, wait a minute. There we go. Was it Atlantis underwater? Let's see. Shrink email function. No, I still don't get it. Hold on. Is it? So that's the first email, Atlantis. Shrink ray is the second. Superhero cape recall. No, it is actually making sense. So she's walking through her to-dos here, not her emails. The fact that the to-dos look like emails doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But the animations do. So she is stepping forward through time. So from the left to the right, and then going back from the right to the left. Really love that. Really consistent, especially in a presentation GIF like this. Really good work. But okay, so let's disregard that. Come back to this screen and just talk about what is good here for a second. So love the contrast, right? So we're looking at only the headers and the subject lines. Everything else is grayed out, toned down. Perfect. Love that. Really, really simple visual hierarchy to follow. Also really like the fact that this is a gray, but this is a warm gray. So it gives you this sort of, it gives you the warm, soft, calm kind of vibe. It might seem more homely and retro than professional, but I still really love it at this point. It's just, since we're talking about something that should be peaceful, really like it. Could also be my screen, by the way, since it's so light, but I don't think so in this case. And here we have some icons and some buttons, and they're all very calm, very clear. Really, really like that. Let's go forward a bit, see if we can find one of these more heavy ones. Yeah, so here we have one of the emails, and the meta information is really nice. I guess that this is related emails or emails in the thread. I'm not quite sure. Very interesting to have that actually to be able to see like the communication you've had with this company or person. That would be a very cool feature. The action bar looks really nice. And if we scroll up here to the more complicated email, the links in the email actually look terrible. That's going to be really hard to read. Oh, sorry, got ahead of myself there. Just to stick to the good stuff. The action bar, top of the email, looks awesome. Really actually love all of the meta information and stuff at the top of the email. Now, this is the only, it's only in these like last few emails, so I think it's a little bit weird, but I really like it. Read in app is also very interesting. Not sure what it means, but I like the idea that this is like a triage system. So maybe that's sort of what she's going for here. The icons themselves, like the actions you can take, don't make a lot of sense, but the choice of icons and the choice of contrast for the icons is excellent. It's just spot on. You can see it, you can easily read it. It doesn't take up a whole lot of visual weight. You can just scroll past it with your eyes if you want to. Everything is also spaced out in a proper way, like it has really nice padding everywhere, except actually the subscribe text up top right corner. That looks a little bit crowded, but most of it is just really excellent. And let's see, should we look at anything else before we jump into the bad? Nope, let's jump to the bad. Okay, so let's see, what have we been talking about? Oh yes, the selection of the items. So it's really interesting that you would only hover the subject line, but this is probably like a block. And if it is a block, you should probably highlight the whole thing. The highlight, the hover highlight of the text is also probably not strong enough. You probably can't see that, or like most people probably won't be able to see that on their shitty Dell PC laptop screens. Though of course this is a video, so it could also be compressed so hard that we just don't see it. It might not be Amelia's fault. Then when we jump into the emails, like the meta information here on the left-hand side is excellent, but I don't understand what these emails are. They could be an excellent feature. They could also be just random stuff. Just don't understand what the point is. Don't understand why all of the icons are the same. Also don't understand this arrow. Like, why does this take up so much space? Is it an important thing to carry the balance? Maybe, but it just looks like decoration that is not quite necessary here. And here, when we have a really long email, this is starting to become like an actual email text when you have this urgent and little parentheses and stuff. And you can sort of see the typography actually falling apart a little bit because it looks really, really nice with a long flowing text. Like, let's pick someone. Where are they? Like this. But as soon as you start adding something else, it sort of falls apart a little bit. Also, this is actually softer than this for some reason, which makes no sense. And of course, with an opinionated email client like this, we're really pretending that we can do whatever we want with emails, but they are HTML artifacts, so we really can't. Most emails are going to come in and be like weird. They're going to be black backgrounds and white backgrounds and annoying. Yes, I know, email is super, super annoying. Playing with the animation here, I thought was an excellent idea. I would really actually like to see text and images animated separately. That said, if we look at this animation, let's look at it in full speed so we can see what we're talking about. Yes, yes, yes. That is a properly fast animation. I was actually going to say that these animations are probably too slow because most animations are too slow, but I was totally wrong. That's a great animation. You can feel it, but you can't really see it. Like that's not going to interrupt your flow. That animation is something like 150 milliseconds. Good work. Really good job. Okay, so here we can see another issue with this. So on this screen right now, your action buttons are so far removed or like so far down on the visual hierarchy that you're not really going to notice them. And that's probably fine because most of the time you're not going to be looking for them because you learn where they are really, really fast because you're interacting with them every email. That said, it still is a little bit weird placement where they are, and they're very weak. If we move ahead to these other emails where we have these top bars, just read us what this should be. These are the social updates as compared to the email updates. So we just identified another problem, right? The fact that there is so little visual difference between a to-do, an email, and a social update just doesn't really work. It's a nice idea having it all in the same place. It's a nice idea that it's all sort of homogeneous, so it becomes calm, but it just falls apart a little bit because we can't read it. Well, I couldn't. It's just starting to get confusing. And if we add more sort of things to this as well, it's going to get super freaking confusing over time. All right, but I'm going to end there because this is really quite a nice design. Let's talk about, is this the last and most important topic that we discuss is this a reasonable design? Does this make sense from the user's point of view? And unfortunately, absolutely not. Like I said, emails don't work like this. So this really just doesn't work. The reading system that we've gone through here has so many problems that this is a really good first iteration, but it's just far, far, far from what we can actually use in sort of end state. I wouldn't like come down on it too hard because this is a really nice vision, and I would love to see something like this in the world. But this is clearly an exploration of what we could do, maybe, kinda, sorta, in the future. This is not supposed to be an actual finished design. So finishing up, really like it. Good job, Amelia. Email apparently could be a lot more peaceful than it is. I think you're trying to do too much with this. Maybe skip the social parts, but in general, I'm like super impressed. Well done, and looking forward to having better email clients in the world in the future. Thanks to people like you.